Good morning, students. Okay, so yesterday we studied about equipotential surfaces. Equipotential surfaces are those on which the potential remains constant at every point on this surface. Such a surface, we call it as an equipotential surface. Okay, that is equal potential surface. So a surface drawn in the electric field such that the potential at every point remains constant. Okay, and we have drawn the equipotential surfaces for few point charges also, for an electric dipole, for two identical positive or negative charges. Okay, so we have drawn the pattern of the equipotential surfaces. Then we studied the properties of equipotential surfaces. The first property states that, okay, any charge which is moved on the equipotential surface, the work done is zero. That is, no work is done in moving a charge on an equipotential surface. Okay, then electric lines of forces are perpendicular to the equipotential surfaces, or either way you can say that the equipotential surface is perpendicular to the electric lines of force. Okay, then the third property which we studied is no two equipotential surfaces can intersect each other. Okay, because if they intersect, then at the point of intersection, there will be two values of the potential, which is not at all possible. So two equipotential surfaces can never intersect. Okay, then we found out the expression of the potential energy between 2 point charges in the absence of external electric field. No external electric field is there. What is the expression of the potential energy? K Q1 into Q2 upon R. K is what? Constant of proportionality, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 upon R. Okay, so this potential energy may be positive, may be negative, depending upon Q1 into Q2. Like charges, the potential energy will be positive. Unlike charges, the potential energy will be negative. Okay, then in the presence of external electric field, the potential energy due to a point charge is Q into the potential at some distance R. Okay, 2 point charges placed in external electric field, then the potential energy will be Q1 into V at R1 distance, Q2 into V at R2 distance, plus there will be some potential energy between 2 point charges, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 upon R. Okay, write few questions over here. First question, a charge of 200 microcoulomb, a charge of 200 microcoulomb is moved through a distance of 30 centimeters, is moved through a distance of 30 centimeters on an equipotential surface. A charge of 200 microcoulomb is moved through a distance of 30 centimeters on an equipotential surface. Calculate the work done. Calculate the work done. Yes, what will be the work done? This charge 200 microcoulombs is moved on an equipotential surface. We know that any charge moved on an equipotential surface, the work done is zero. So no work is done in moving any charge on an equipotential surface. Write the next question. Write down, let here Q charges there. Okay, positive, negative, we'll discuss later on. And there are 2 points, P and Q. Okay. Find out the potential difference Vp minus Vq. Will be positive or negative. Vp minus Vq will be positive or negative. First part, if Q is positive. Second part, if Q is negative. Okay, 15 seconds given over here. Try to simplify. Vp minus Vq. Let this distance from, let the point P from this charge is Rp. Let this distance is Rq. The potential at point P we know is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon Rp. The potential due to Q charge is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon Rq. Now here you have to find out Vp minus Vq. Is this Vp minus Vq positive or negative? Yes, done. Try to simplify. Okay, I think you must have done. Let's solve it. Vp minus Vq is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Let's take it outside. Vp is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon Q upon Rp. Let's take this Q also outside. Is it so? Vp minus Vq, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by Rp minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Yes, now from this figure, you see that Rq is greater than Rp. From this figure, from the figure, it is seen that Rq is greater than Rp. So 1 upon Rp will be greater than 1 upon Rq. Okay, and hence 1 upon Rp will be greater than 1 upon Rq, as 1 upon Rp is greater than 1 upon Q is positive. Okay, the first part we are discussing, Q is already positive. Okay, as 1 upon Rp is greater than 1 upon Rq. So Vp minus Vq is positive. Now do the second part. If Q is negative, if this charge is negative, that is, it is minus Q, and potential is a scalar quantity, positive charge, the potential will be positive, negative charge, the potential will be negative. If Q is negative, that is minus Q. Okay, I'm writing here only. Okay, let's do it here. Okay, then Vp minus Vq will be equal to this minus sign I'm taking inside. How much it would be? Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, minus sign taken inside, Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 upon Rq minus 1 upon Rp. But still in the figure, you see that Rq is greater than Rp. So 1 upon Rq will be less than 1 upon Rp. Okay, that is 1 upon Rp greater than 1 upon Rq. So this will be negative. So Vp minus Vq will be negative if Q is negative. Okay. Done. Write one more question. Question number 3. 2-point charges TWO2, 2-point charges, write down, 2-point charges. Q1 is 10 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 coulomb. Okay, and the other point charge Q2 is minus 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 coulomb. Okay, 2-point charges Q1 and Q2 as given, as written on the board, are separated by 60 centimeters apart, are separated by 60 centimeters. From the first point charge, find the distance at which the potential is 0. From the first point charge, that is 10 into 10 raised power minus 8 coulomb. Okay, at what distance the electric potential is 0. Okay, also calculate the potential energy between these 2-point charges. Also calculate the potential energy between these 2-point charges. Okay, from the first point charge, at what distance is the electric potential 0? That is from Q1. At what distance the electric potential is 0? And the second part is also find out the potential energy between these 2-point charges. Yes, 30 seconds given to solve it. Here, Q1 is given as 10 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 coulomb. Q2 is given as minus 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 coulomb, and they are separated by 60 centimeters. At what distance from the first charge is the potential 0? Let this distance is x. So what will be the remaining distance? That is at point P, let us assume that the electric potential is 0. So from the first charge Q1, let it is at x distance. So from Q2, what will be this distance? 60 minus x centimeter. Okay, now the potential at point P is 0. What is the total potential at point P? The total potential is the potential due to Q1 charge plus the potential due to Q2 charge. What is the potential due to Q1 charge at point P? It is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 upon R1. R1 is how much? X. Okay, Q1 also, okay, in the next step, we'll write down Q1 plus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q2, which is minus 2 into 10 raised power minus 8 coulomb upon what is the distance? 60 minus x is equal to 0. Given in the question that the potential at point P is 0. Okay, so this distance x you have to find out where the potential is 0. Let at P point the potential is 0. Okay, so 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, you can take it common. Q1 is how much? 10 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 coulomb upon x. Q2 is how much? Minus 2 into 10 raised power minus 8 coulomb upon 60 minus x is equal to 0. So you can simplify 10 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 upon x is equal to 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 upon 60 minus x. So here x you can determine. Okay, on simplifying it, x you will get it equal to 50 centimeters. So at what distance? That is at 50 centimeters from the first charge. From the other charge, it would be 10 centimeters. Okay, so from the first charge, it is 50 centimeters. Also calculate the potential energy between these 2 point charges. We know that the potential energy between 2 point charges is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 upon R. R is how much? 60 centimeters. Okay, I think you can calculate, only you have to substitute the values, and R you will take it in meters. 60 centimeters is 60 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 meters. Right, one more question. Okay, done this one. This you can simplify. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 raised to the power 9 Q1 into Q2 upon R distance is 60 centimeters, which you will convert it in meters to get the answer in joules. Okay, you will substitute all these values in SI. Okay, now write the next question. A hollow metal sphere of radius 6 centimeters. A hollow metal sphere of radius 6 centimeters is charged such that the potential on the surface is 12 volts. Such that the potential on the surface is 12 volts. What will be the potential at the center of the sphere? What will be the potential at the center of the sphere? Okay, it is like a hollow metallic charge shell. Okay, the metallic charge shell. Okay, here it is given that this is the hollow metallic sphere whose radius is 6 centimeter. And on the surface, the potential is 12 volts. What is the potential at the center of the sphere? Okay, the potential on the surface is 12 volts. You have to find out the potential at the center of the sphere. Okay, yesterday we studied that the electric field inside is 0, but the potential inside is constant. How much is it? Whatever is on the surface at every point inside the sphere, the potential will be the same. So the potential inside is also equal to 12 volts. Okay, so the potential inside at every point, whether it is at the center or at any other point, the potential will be 12 volts. Okay, using Gauss law, we found out the electric field inside a charged spherical shell, which is equal to 0. Okay, so the potential will be constant. Okay, electric field is minus dV by dr. Okay, done. Okay, now let's proceed. Let's keep a conductor inside an uniform electric field. Let's see what are the properties. So write the heading. Behavior of a conductor in electric field. Behavior of a conductor in electric field. Okay, in uniform electric field. Behavior of a conductor in uniform electric field. Okay, some properties here we'll study. In uniform electric field, we'll place a conductor. Okay, we know that between a positive and a negative sheet, the electric field is uniform. Okay, let this electric field is E naught. Okay, so between two parallel sheets, one having plus sigma surface charge density, other having minus sigma surface charge density, the electric field inside is constant. How much is it? We have done using Gauss law. Between two parallel sheets, then we consider the case one having plus sigma, other having minus sigma. Here and here, to the left of the first sheet, to the right of the second sheet, the electric field is 0. Only electric field exists between the two sheets, which is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught. So the electric field is E naught. Now let us place a conductor. Let's place a conductor in this uniform electric field. Okay, so this is the external electric field E naught, and a conductor is placed inside this uniform electric field. We know that the conductor has mobile electrons, free electrons. Okay, the free electrons, in which direction will they move? They will move towards the positive sheet. So the free electrons will move in the opposite direction. The conductor has mobile electrons, free electrons. They are free to move in a conductor. So they will move in the opposite direction of the electric field, in the external electric field. Due to this motion, some electric field is created inside. Okay, the electrons are moving in the opposite direction, due to which an electric field is created inside the conductor. Let it is EP. Okay, now these electrons will move till this EP becomes equals to E naught. Okay, so they will move until EP becomes equals to E naught. Okay, inside a conductor, we know that there are free electrons, mobile electrons. They will start moving in the opposite direction of the external electric field, due to which some electric field is created inside the conductor. Let it is EP. So the net electric field inside, as you can see that E naught and EP are in the opposite direction. So the net electric field is E naught minus EP. They will move until EP becomes equals to E naught. So what is the net electric field inside? The net electric field inside is 0. So there is no net electric field inside a conductor when it is placed in uniform electric field. So write the first point. Write down, when a conductor is placed in uniform electric field, the net electric field inside the conductor, is 0. The net electric field inside the conductor is 0. Okay, now here you can write the reason. Write down the free electrons move in the opposite direction of E naught, move in the opposite direction of E naught, due to which an electric field EP is, an electric field E subscript is P, an electric field EP is created inside the conductor which is opposite to E naught, is created inside the conductor which is opposite to E naught. Write down these electrons move until EP becomes equals to E naught. These electrons moves until EP is equal to E naught. So the net electric field inside the conductor, so the net electric field inside the conductor is 0. Okay, you can write it like this. So the net electric field inside the conductor is E naught minus EP, which is equal to 0. Write the second property. Write down the net charge. First write down, then I'll explain. Write down the net charge in the interior of the conductor. The net charge in the interior of the conductor is 0. The net charge in the interior of the conductor is 0. Why? Using Gauss law here we'll find out. We know that according to Gauss law, closed surface integral of E dot ds is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. The net electric field inside is 0. So Q inside is 0. So as, okay, this you can write down using Gauss law. Which law is this? Using Gauss law. Write this expression using Gauss law. Okay, what have I written? Using Gauss law, closed surface integral of E dot ds is equal to 0 as electric field inside is equal to 0. Okay, this side is 0. So Q inside is 0. So the net charge inside the conductor is equal to 0. So there is no net charge inside the conductor. Write the third point. Okay, anyhow, if we give some charge to the interior of the conductor, okay, so if we, by some means, if we give charge inside the conductor, so what happens? As the net charge inside is 0, so this charge will reside to the surface of the conductor. Okay, let ABCD is the surface of the conductor, so the charge will start residing to the surface of the conductor. So write down third point. Write down if the charge is given inside the conductor, if the charge is given inside the conductor, this charge resides to the surface. This charge resides to the surface of the conductor. This charge resides to the surface of the conductor because net charge inside is 0. Because net charge inside is 0. Okay, write the next point. Write down electric field just outside the conductor. Electric field just outside the conductor is perpendicular. Write down electric field just outside the conductor is perpendicular to its surface. Is perpendicular to its surface. Okay, that is electric field does not have any tangential component. Okay, no tangential component. That is electric field Write down, complete the sentence. That is, electric field does not have any tangential component. That is, electric field does not have any tangential component. Okay, as you can see in the figure, the electric field just outside the conductor is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. Okay, let's find out. Using Gauss law, E dot ds is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. That is, E into ds into cos theta is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. Okay, this is 0. E cannot be 0. ds cannot be 0. So what is 0 over here? Cos theta is 0. That is, theta is equal to 90 degree. That is, the electric field is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. E is perpendicular to ds. ds is what? The surface. Okay, written. Okay, write the next point. Now let's find out the potential inside the conductor. Write down. Fifth point. The electric potential inside the conductor is constant. The electric potential inside the conductor is constant. Okay, whatever is on the surface, that will be. Okay, we know that the electric field inside is 0. Electric field inside is 0. Just now we have studied that. No net electric field inside can remain. Why? Because electrons drift in the opposite direction of E naught until the interior electric field, the electric field created by these electrons, EP becomes equals to E naught. So the net electric field, as they are in the opposite direction, E naught minus EP is equal to 0. Okay, so the net electric field is 0. And how is the electric field related to the potential? E is equal to minus dV by dr. Electric field inside is 0. So the potential inside will be equal to, this is 0. The differentiation of a quantity, this is inside. Okay, both here written as inside. Electric field inside, dV inside. Okay, as electric field inside is 0. So the differentiation of a quantity is 0. It means this quantity is constant. So the potential inside is constant. So the potential inside the conductor, which is placed in uniform electric field, is constant. Okay, so the potential inside is constant. Okay, few more properties are there that we'll discuss on the next term. Okay, so keep revising and keep studying. Do the NCERT exercise questions also. Okay, also you have to mark the attendance every day. It's not that only one day you have written your name and I'll mark your present. Every day you have to write your name in the comment box after watching the video so that I can mark your attendance for that particular day. Okay, so if you are not writing, once you have written and you think that every day your attendance will be marked, it is not so. Every day after watching the video, write your name in the comment box. I'll see your name and I'll mark your attendance. Okay, thank you, class.